It's crazy, right? I see guys in locker rooms all the time at halftime with headphones and stuff on, and it makes me wonder if that whole situation would have happened if he hadn't given up so many touchdowns, if he hadn't been out of place on defense, if they hadn't been getting their heads smashed in. When they wasn't even getting their heads smashed in that early in the game.
Well, they had just scored right before halftime.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of make it a game after all. The tide could have potentially turned in their favor.
Potentially, but I don't. That's a tough one. Josh has been struggling.
I mean, you know him. What do you
what? Am I here?
What do you think about this?
Body language saying it all right now.
It's tough, Troy. It's tough water right there now. Hey, that thing hot and humid. That thing is just. One thing is going on is you're not winning. The head coach is speaking. You got your back turned. You had your headphones on. We don't know how many times that has been spoken about, or that has been a problem and an issue. And the fact that Coach Gruden came over and took his headphones, snatched them off his head, then you got a man who's going to respond. Oh, you just going to try to do that in front of everybody? So I'm going to put him back on. So you got two egos. And then, but when you're the head coach, your ego's the biggest.
Yeah.
Right? And so you can't and you will not undermine me in front of everybody. And so the issue with Josh Norman is what you saw is you get to see a guy's flaws or mistakes happen on national television. That happens. But I was with Josh in Carolina. Josh does a few things very well. But when you start to ask him to do other things, he doesn't do it as well. Like sometimes playing his own coverage.
Yeah, he didn't know the difference between cover 2, cover 3.
I
think that was communication.
Well, technician is the wrong word. He's not a student of the game. That's never
been. He will tell you he is, and he probably has become. But, like, everybody has flaws. But he just isn't a guy. He's a man-to-man.
Yes.
Keep his eyes on his
team and compete with you.
Yes.
Every down for the entire game.
Correct.
I saw him go nose-to-nose with A.J. Green in London the one year. I watched that game up close.
Yeah.
He competed every single down.
And he will.
So he's not a guy to quit on.
No,
we talked about this guy as the best corner in football a few years ago. And it seems to me that to see Gettleman rescind the franchise tag at the time.
Which was a mistake.
I mean, was it? Look at
the time it was a mistake.
Look at how he's playing right now.
Yep.
If I'm Gettleman,
especially this year.
He's not the same. And if I'm Gettleman, I'm probably saying, wow, this kid probably played so well because of the guys around him and the scheme and all of those types of things, too.
Well,
I mean, that does all benefit, and that helps you.
I'll give you an educated theory on this one because D'Angelo Hall was with us yesterday, and Will Blackman, who's now our colleague at NFL Network, he was a cornerback who was there. His locker was next to Josh Norman. He did a fantastic job of keeping Norman's head in the game and in the meeting room.
Point.
And they let Blackman go, I believe it's two seasons ago now, and since then, with no D'Angelo.
He has had an interception.
No Blackman.
2016 versus the Chicago.
Yeah, but he's out here saying that he's been Hollywood since he came out of the womb, and he's not backing anything up, though, on the field.
He's the elder statesman now. He doesn't have those other guys.
What Josh is finding out, what we all find out, what Hollywood is. You can talk your way into it, and the audience will listen. But in Hollywood, it's all about what is on the screen. And if the show or the independent film that you're producing isn't worth a damn, people aren't going to fill up the seats. Yep. And if the seats aren't filled, people aren't going to pay. And if people aren't going to pay, that production and that Hollywood is going to tarnish. And so he has to be able to make the plays. If he doesn't make the plays, I read it was like $20.3 million of dead money. Let me tell you something. People would think, they wouldn't do that. If he continues not to keep his eyes on the luggage and produce, the not for long will be this year.
Oh, they can get out. They can get out from under this country.
And you're reading some reports that coaches are not happy with him. This isn't me saying it. This is what I can read and count. And what it says is coaches are not happy with him. You're not winning. Coaches aren't happy. They have to move on.
The fans aren't happy, and when you're allowing almost a perfect passer rating, when you're being targeted, guys are just going to keep on targeting you.
Give me
you make so much money.
If they doing like
That's
that.
What I'm saying. You make too much money to give up that many people.
Yeah, not good for Josh Norman.